All right, and we are back. And today the Champions League opens back up for the full week. So we're going to get in here on the main account. I'm going to talk about some stuff with PvP in general as we go through stuff, because I know there's some interest on the channel talking about PvP in general. I'm going to do my best to kind of talk through it and whatnot on here, but it's going to take kind of a dedicated video going forward. But before we get started, just want to say thank you to all the subscribers, all the people who've liked, commented. You guys are awesome. And yeah, let's get right into it. So we are Champions League for my newer players here. So Champions League opens up every 2 weeks, and it is just another great opportunity to get in here. Whether you win or lose, just get in here and get into a tier. It's free rewards. As you new players are building up your accounts, you'll slowly be able to start filling out teams that should be able to get past some of the stuff in here as you go along. So the two main things is just like regular PvP. It's free gems at the end of the week, and then it's also getting more medals so that you can buy a gleam every week. These are very important to progressing your account, and having gleams stocked up, just like having your gems stocked up, is important to allow you to be evolving your 5-star Astromon to getting them, put on your team to utilize. Example for me on the new account, getting Water Valkyrie built up. So having Water Gleams to fill that, and also going in and trying to summon more Water Valkyries is all there and good. So with all that out of the way, the last thing to talk about is what is the Champions League and how does it differ? Champions League is a battle of 3 teams. Okay, so you take three teams of 4 against 3 teams of 5 with a hidden Astromon on a defense team. And the goal here is to win twice. That's all we have to do. So you'll hear a lot of me talk about how, okay, I can beat round 1 and round 3. I don't have to worry about round 2, okay? You only have to win twice in order to win. And so a lot of that will come down to, again, my strategy on where do I put my most powerful Astromon. The other thing that's interesting is we always have banned Astromon. So this week we have Water Persephone, Fire Kira, and this is Dark Sea Star. These 3 have been banned. So we'll wonder what I had right here. I don't know what I had here that was taken out, but something is there. Now, the other thing here, and this is the same thing with SP week that just ended in the regular league, their hidden Astromon will always come out with their SP up. You'll notice I have all of my leaders are going to have their SP up immediately. It's the same thing for them. The hidden Astromon is going to come out with their SP up. So I highly recommend running an Astromon in every single row that can do what's called SP Siphon. So I'll do the first row here. You'll notice we've got Yuki. I run Dark Yuki, and it is solely for her Siphon skill. I don't use her for anything else. The sap is okay, but I use this to siphon out an Astromon, because as I play through this during the week, you guys are going to notice the teams are going to start getting harder and harder. And so having an Astromon that can do that is good. I actually just recently got Hunter, Water Hunter up because of his puncture, but also the SP Siphon that he can bring to the table. And he's a little bit of an attacker, so he can fill like this role out from a Druidess. So as far as team building goes, always, if I could suggest to newer players, one Astromon to be kind of sidelined to build for this role, because the SP League is important, is trying to find an Astromon that has this on here. Off the top of my head, Fire Mona is another good one to pick, and she can also be super evolved, just like Water Hunter here. It can be super evolved as well, and be brought in. So let's fill out this bottom row. I forgot I have Gilgamesh now. We really do have a Wombo combo to build up. You know what, Gilgamesh, you are gonna go to the bottom, and we're gonna run Hunter. Did I gem you? I did. Okay. Void crystals we don't have right now, but this is what we're gonna run with, and we'll get into it. So again, usually the first 10 tickets of the week are pretty easy to go through. So, and I enjoy the Champions League too, because we can talk about a lot of the theories that comes out, and it's just years of playing it. One thing I will also say here as we get started is I'm not the be all end all. You know, there are builds and things like that. I don't go up against the top players in the game just because they're the ones who usually have spent a lot of money on the game to reroll their gems or to change, to try and have the perfected Astromon here. And that's fine. That's totally up to them. That's their prerogative. But for me, I get my gems every week and I go move on instead of dealing with some of the the annoying Astromon that is in the game. Well, we didn't do that. And if you're curious as why I avoided killing her, is because I would have had to encounter whatever came out with a full SP bar, this being Dark Sarah, and she would have hit us pretty hard as an attacker. But this is why we have the SP Siphon here, is we can just siphon her. We don't got to worry about her anymore. But she's also an attacker, so she's not going to have that much health. Arthur will take her down very easily. And again, my knowledge of PvP just comes in again, years of fighting Astromon and knowing their kits. But that doesn't mean I know everything about how to navigate PvP. I'll put it that way. A big thing to point out too, why we're in this first battle, is combo damage. So I sent, I don't even remember his name right now, but I sent my SP Siphoner over here to get rid of her SP. And now I'm going to actually just double tap the auto to let these guys do their combo damage. Well, if they lined up properly. That was a poor example, but usually let Yuki go because of the animation speed. Nonetheless, you still set it out to do the combo damage, and you can usually wipe through a team pretty easily. So another tip here, I'm doing this for fun, but obviously you guys can pick who you fight in the 10 opponents that it gives out. I'm just autoing through, or I'm just going through them myself for fun. But definitely pick out the teams that you can pick off. Always take the easy win in PvP for Monster Super League. Don't stress yourself out, especially newer players. Just try and get as many wins as possible. And for those of you who are newer players that stick around, here's a perfect example of where the hero contract comes in, is talking about Arthur, right? Arthur has the stun that he can get off on here, and that's why I'm running him on the first row. He still does the damage. So Arthur's a fire attacker. He can decimate water Astromon, and etc, etc. So, but I'm chiefly running him through with stun. Being able to crowd control an Astromon is is one of the bigger things with PvP. However, again, talking about those higher tiers, they're usually running enough of resistance that your stuns going off is really going to take effort as far as your team building. So take that one out. Send them. All right, I'm going to try and line this up as long as she doesn't die or kill somebody. This is what I was talking about before, is usually auto tapping will get the combo damage, but I will have to send Yuki and then Arthur, and there you see the combo damage goes up. Combos do more damage, therefore you kind of want that, especially with PvP trying to wipe out teams. So, little bit, it's been a while, but I obviously can, well, I was going to do it, but we don't really have a challenge here now, do we? We're just going to bonk that. We'll do it on the next one where I have, like, time to point something out. Again, here's an example of easy wins. Take them. Because if I'm being honest, if I had a variant Gilgamesh, I would throw him in the first slot here, and we'd probably be winning a little bit more than we used to. But here we go. We got a team we can now talk about. So my theory on my first team up here is Dark Persephone, Ultimate Evolved. She should destroy stuff. So this is where you always hear me go, this is a gem check, because she really is. His is another great example here. We have Dark Arthur from the Dark contract, and I talked about him of why I didn't pick him. He's not a bad pick, he's just very tanky. Well, very tanky doesn't mean unkillable, and this is where, even with Persephone, I can say, here's your gem check, right? Arthur should have lived, and he did live, which is good. That means this person has done what they needed to do. He has a healthy amount of HP. But my Persephone's meant to just kind of weed out all the attackers on the first go, and then we deal with what comes after it. So I said before, my Dark Yuki is for Siphon. Now his Dark Persephone's locked down. However, out of these 2 priority targets, you guys can kind of say, you know, obviously we don't want Persephone to live. So I'm just going to send them in there. Again, Arthur, he's not going to do any damage. And that's the problem with aggression. Aggression really just... my Yuki's a tank here. And while, yes, if that was a light Astromon, you calculate all that, at the same time, it didn't do any damage. So this is where I say, again, sadly, Dark Arthur was not a big pick because PvP-wise, that did nothing. So second row here was kind of a test. Dark Yuki is for her ability to give us Zeal right off the bat, and this is to combo into Arthur and Yuki, both getting stuns off of it. And she's here for the healing aspect of it. So, and then Shinobi, there we go. I don't know why I couldn't remember that name. So Shinobi here has a Gem of Bastion set off the world boss, and he is just here for SP Siphon, and then his active ability is a stun. Again, if I can lock down the other team, I'm going to do it. Let's see what you got. Well, we can take you out and see what you're running. Wood Artemis here is a little scary, but yeah, they could barely get through that Bastion set. Yuki, let's see if we can get a 4-team stun. And we got 2. Obviously, we heal. They've got 2 turns of stun on them, so we can easily knock them out, but I want to focus in on these guys. And let's see if we get the stun here. No, she resisted. Zeal, everybody's going to have their abilities up, so I'm just going to full send. And again, generally speaking, these first 10 tickets, and even into my, I think, 20 and 30 tickets, you know, these teams aren't going to be that difficult. PvP, if I had to kind of rate my top 3, you know, Astromon that I don't like fighting, it's definitely barbed taunts, any kind of taunt. Easy lockdowns, like, again, Arthur is 100% chance, but I still have resistances. But here's your gem check. And there you go, you know. Dark Persephone doing Dark Persephone things. Taunt in general, and then barbed taunt. So the Griffins are very, very annoying. The Crystal Dragons can actually have some really bad negative effects on here. Mari is an attacker. She resisted. Let's just get rid of her. Oh, we didn't have anything. Okay. That's fine. Thirst doesn't really bother me, especially on this team. You're building that up, so we're gonna do that. Let's just throw it out. Arthur. Let's take our win here. And go through there. So again, PvP is kind of that. You want to take this slowly, especially when you're going to be climbing, if you're going to climb up the ranks eventually. This wasn't a higher level team. It's just knowing what each Astromon's going to do to you and the priority. Obviously, kind of attackers should fall very quickly unless they've just got ridiculous HP substats for whatever reason. But if you run into an attacker, let's say I run into a Dark Persephone that somehow lives, I know her attack is not that great and that she's not really going to hurt. It has been a while for Champions League, so I'm interested to see as we go throughout the week if there's any new little strategies. Light Succubus here is interesting. Resisted. We got the crit and Fire Draka. And again, these teams, even the teams that you see me running, you see me having success on it. And that's something to definitely point out with PvP in general is, you know, I have Evo 3 Astromon, Ultimate Evolved, Super Evolved Astromon, and I have not perfected gems, but I have really good gems. And let's send and send. I have decent gems, 6-star gems with okay substats, all that kind of jazz, and then we have enhancing. Now there's going to be a video coming out talking about this process. You know, how do you navigate Monster Super League? I'm going to try a different format with this video and see how you guys like it. Again, I am trying to be more, you know, quick and to the point. Obviously, Leon rant is still a thing, but so again, Fire Miho was good there. Nightmare living through that damage. I didn't see if we got a crit at all, but still pretty good. Let's just, okay, we got the stun there. We'll send Valkyrie on Miho. And then also Super Ascension skills. So top tiers will have, let's do this because I don't know if Arthur's going to live or die. Okay, we are good. Super Ascending eventually as well. Hey, look, they got a Sonic. I remember those days. Nice. And I see this is a thing. You don't take out Sonic because whatever's going to come out is going to have SP, and then we're not going to be able to siphon it. So we just got to take our loss here, and whatever they're going to hit, they're going to hit. Not that I'm worried that they're going to do some damage. Hanahime can take him out. Fire Leo. Okay. It's still not, like, scary. So here's an great example where taunt is very annoying. Arthur has his skill up, but for the next 2 turns has to deal with that. But we counter that because I have my own crowd control, so Zoo won't get off anything now for a turn. So let's focus on this one. Nice, we got the shock there. Arthur got the resist, so we'll just do that. Let's just... I should have used Yuki's ability. I wasn't paying attention. I mean, I think the team's dead. Yeah. And even on these kind of teams, I'm still taking my time to analyze them because I want to make sure that we're obviously getting through it. I see a lot of Super Evolved Astromon. Well, Hanahime might live this. I believe she was a defender. Yeah, see? I was right. So good on her. Yeah, Wukong, you've been a pain in the butt before, but we still get the crit. And that's another reason why I'm running Purse besides her ability. You know, she gets crit, so this is very much a glass cannon build, needless to say. You can be annoying when I have this, so what comes out? You have Fire Shinobi? Alright. Can we get a 4-team stun? Ooh, we got 3. I'll take the 3. Let's just do that. No crit off Arthur there. My light Arthur needs some TLC, that's for sure. Let's just send. There we go. Got 2 tickets left to get through. Well, except for Light Cura here. Super Evolved and Ultimate Evolved Light Odin. Odin should lift this 100% if done properly, and she did. Now the question, you know, this kind of goes back to it. Like she's gonna heal, but this is another case of, again, she's not difficult to take down. She's just tanky. Here we have a different story. Gilgamesh. I almost feel like you should have had that hidden, but I wonder what's back there. We're just gonna take that out. Light Arthur comes out. Interesting. Crystal Dragon here is scary. This is actually not a bad team. This is not a bad team at all. If we're not careful. Alright, we got crowd control on Arthur at least. Yep, there goes that. We're gonna heal. We might see the third row on this one. Oof. So let's just sap the Crystal Dragon. Big time heal. Defense down, but that doesn't get rid of my power. Oh no. Okay. Yikers. That's going to put defense up. This is going to turn into a little bit of a struggle here. I think I'd rather not have the damage. Yeah, Arthur's down. Yeah, I think this is lost. I'm just going to let it play out because I've seen worse, but it's my healer versus theirs. We're not going to do the damage. I'm not going to. So if you run into something like that, I give up the round. And we'll come down here and see. Usually this one, they put all their eggs in one basket up there. And we can come down in this one and more than likely take it out. But we'll see. Let's pop. Okay. Another cut. Another swing. What do you got? Draka. Well, if I could crit on my Gilgamesh, but I can't. Well, Hunter's gone, but that's fine. I'm just going to literally heal, and we're going to watch the fireworks. And there we go. So, Glass Cannon still does Glass Cannon things. Good to know. Oh, but my Gilgamesh does need, and definitely needs some crit rate. Kind of sidelined him because I just didn't have the gems for him. And here's a great example of a team. Dark Shinra, but then we have Water Griffin. Oh, the bane of PvP's existence. Obviously, you can build to counter this, but do we just go for a stun? Okay, thankfully we got it. Cupid's annoying. Luckily we got a crit. It's Dark Persephone. Nice. Well, we're getting a run for our money here on the second. That's okay. Undying Volition procs, but doesn't matter here. Did not get the taunt off, so Undying Volition is overpowered. And then you get this kind of a team. Light Persephone, Light Griffin, and Dark. I forget his name. I'm just going to call him Cenarius because I'm a WoW nerd and I can do that. Cernos or whatever. Don't quote me on it. Got this far in the video, trust me. I had to stick it out too. All right, well we're in a pickle anyway. So what comes out? Dark Gilgamesh. Yeah, we're just gonna have to eat it. I don't know if we're gonna win this one. We're gonna get hit really hard. Okay, never mind, I lied. We didn't get hit hard at all. Take that off and just auto. Okay, 2-turn shock is not ideal. I'm just gonna hold down auto because we're just dead. We got resisted on that. Okay, Arthur. Wow, okay, we're not dead. Light Arthur with the crit. That was good. Well, you know what? I can't ask for a better end to the 10 tickets for the Champions League for today. 10 victories, and those last two definitely were oof. Yeah, look at that last team. There's that's Dark Valkyrie. Dark Valkyrie definitely fits that mold. Another Water Crystal Dragon, that's common. Dark Yuki, Dark Hanahime. I wonder what their hidden would have been. Interesting. So, but there you have it. Back to the Champions League. I know it's been a while, but if you stuck it out here to the end, just wanted to again say thank you for all the support. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe and a like if you like the video, and I will see you all in the next video.